The left has a brand new handbook. I don't know if you've seen it yet. The Little Blue Book, the essential guide to thinking and talking democratic. It's a modern progressive equivalent to the Little Red Book by Mao. I mean, it's clever, isn't it? I mean, Mao only killed tens of millions of people. So it's a not so subtle reference makes Mao lovers like Anita Dunn and Ron Bloom beam with pride. The Little Blue Book. The author of this one is George Lakoff. Now, he's considered to be a pretty important contemporary philosopher, democratic strategist, and professor at UC Berkeley. I'm surprised he's hanging out at UC Berkeley. Now, this book is getting rave reviews. Listen to these. I've learned an awful lot from Lakoff, and you will too. Who said that? George Soros. George Lakoff is the progressive movement's Jedi master of language. The Little Blue Book tells us how to say what we need to say to bring about policy changes that Americans need. Okay, who wrote those? The first one was spooky dude George Soros, and admitted communist revolutionary Marxist green guru Van Jones. These guys think they know better than you do. Now, if you listen to what Van Jones says in his own words, he said the book tells us how to say what we need to say to bring about changes Americans need. We haven't even made it to the first chapter, and already they're admitting that they're trying to manipulate you and what you think. Because we have to first understand the mentality of us poor, narrow-minded, small conservatives. Lakoff calls it the strict father model. The difference between conservatives and liberals boils down to their moral frame and their family structure, since that's what shaped our values. Lakoff makes the case that us conservatives grew up with a strict father who protected us from big evil outside world. Since daddy knows best, he makes the rules and no one can challenge them. If you do, you face the consequences. Are you kidding me? We believe in independence and freedom and liberty. Meanwhile, he says, liberals grew up in a household where both mom and dad had equal authority. Everybody's alike. Whatever. The family looks out for everybody's, best interest and then cooperates. There's an emphasis on transparency and open communication and shared decision-making. Is this a load of crap? Have you ever heard any of those words before? Lakoff gets into details how to deliver the liberal message. He has perfected the art with these groundbreaking tips. He says, use your own language, never your opponent's language. Stay away from conservative words like government takeover when describing Obamacare. Be aware of what you believe and repeat it out loud over and over. Never repeat ideas if you don't believe them, even if you are arguing against them. The ways to do this are by talking out loud to friends, and by talking about the moral basis of your argument. Lakoff says in the book, quote, as Democrats, we have a moral duty to communicate effectively, honestly, and transparently to bring together our values, major frames, facts, and policies. So it's just the Democrats who feel compelled to be honest. Obviously, this White House is led by example since it's all about transparency. He says, use basic level words, words that can be easily understood and easily learned since they're short. An example from the book is, rather than using the word environment, say the forest, soil, water, air, the sky. They're easier to imagine than the environment. Look, we know that the left is very committed to its cause on how to package its message in a pretty little box, wrap up with a bow, and give it to you right around Christmas time. But it's all laid out right here. That's why we need to be even more committed to restoring our country. They're using the same tactic that I've laid out before at glennbeck.com. They're using the same tactic, the same one over and over and over again. We're laying another tactic out. Commit, activate, live, create. Go to glennbeck.com. Register now to vote. November is just around the corner. Now that you understand the steps the left is taking, are you ready to commit to be the change you want to see? Let me show you one other book from history. It's this one. This is from Chicago, 1905. This is a copy. It's a little red book as opposed to the little blue book. This is a copy of the first convention of the industrial workers of the world. And in this thing are amazing things. Let me just read this one part to you. But do see here, this is an actual transcript of the convention that, as it went on. These are communists. But do see here, do you believe there's any truth in this story of the carpenter of Nazareth? If you do, ask yourself this question. How many kinds of fool was he when he spoke a prayer? And I want to give it to you. Quote, "Our Father who art in heaven, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." End quote. Now I want to ask the question, if you believe that he was here for that purpose and that he was a true representation of your cult, I want to ask you, who owns the corner lots and the oil wells in heaven? Laughter and applause. While they've been talking about praying in his kingdom on earth as it is in heaven, we've had 19 centuries of Christianity in jails. Applause. I don't believe in that kind of praying, and I don't believe that kind of praying will do any good. It's the same rhetoric from 1905 and the communists that we have now. They were very well put together then. They're even better at it now. It's all about the culture. It's all about Jedi mind tricks. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Yes, they are. Don't fall for the Jedi mind trick. Instead, commit, activate, live it. And the last step is create. Go to glennbeck.com, find out more.